Every winter, my grandmother would prepare a jar of pickled shallots, a small but powerful remedy in her kitchen. No need for antibiotics, just a few simple shallots, a familiar ingredient always on hand, were enough to help the whole family stay healthy through the cold season. Shallots are known to boost the immune system, and they're especially beneficial for older adults. The best part? You can easily make them at home with just a few basic steps. No fancy equipment needed. Let's get started. Shallots are the main ingredient, so choose ones that are uniform in size, not bruised, sprouting, or damaged. After purchasing, peel off the outer skin completely. I've created subtitles in multiple languages. Please choose your preferred language. Leave a comment below and let me know which country you're watching from. After peeling, prepare a clean bowl of water and wash the shallots thoroughly. Let them drain completely. If small shallots are not available, you can substitute with large onions or small white onions. However, shallots are still preferred for their richer flavor and higher nutritional value. Once drained, cut the shallots in half lengthwise and slice them thinly into half-moon shapes. The slices should be about 0.5 centimeters thick. This ensures they stay crisp during pickling without getting mushy, while still absorbing the flavors well. Next, peel about 6 to 7 cloves of garlic, or more, if you enjoy a stronger garlic flavor. The garlic can be left whole or lightly crushed to release its essential oils during pickling, enhancing the aroma and providing natural antibacterial benefits. Then, prepare 2 clean glass jars for storing the shallots. Both jars and lids must be thoroughly sterilized to prevent contamination. You can sterilize them by placing them in an oven at 120 degrees Celsius, about 250 degrees Fahrenheit, for 20 minutes. If you don't have an oven, boil the jars in hot water for 10 to 15 minutes. After sterilizing, let them cool completely in a clean area, avoiding any contact with unsterilized surfaces or hands. Now it's time to layer the ingredients into the jar. First, place a few cloves of garlic at the bottom of the jar. Then, add the sliced shallots, pressing down gently so they're packed. Not too loose, but not too tight either. When the jar is nearly full, sprinkle about 5 to 6 whole black peppercorns on top to enhance the flavor and help with preservation. At this point, add 1 tablespoon of sugar to mellow out the sharpness of the shallots and give a mild sweetness. Then add 1 tablespoon of salt to balance the flavor and ensure a safer preservation process. If you'd like to switch up the flavor, you can use the same method with small white onions. After peeling, slice them thinly just like the shallots. Both shallots and white onions are nutritious, packed with vitamins, minerals, and bioactive compounds like quercetin, a powerful antioxidant. Onions also help boost the immune system, support digestion, protect heart health, and have natural anti-inflammatory and antibacterial properties. Once the white onions are sliced, continue placing them in the jars the same way you did with the first batch. Once you've finished layering the ingredients and seasonings into the jar, it's time to prepare the pickling mixture. Each jar will need about half a cup, 120 milliliters of white rice vinegar. If you're not a fan of the strong taste of rice vinegar, you can substitute it with apple cider vinegar or white wine vinegar. All three work well, and each brings its own unique flavor. Pour the vinegar into the jar first. Then boil enough water and pour the hot water into the jar until the shallots are fully covered. Be careful not to overfill the jar to avoid spilling when you put the lid on. Wipe the rim of the jar clean with a cloth. Then seal it tightly with the lid. Once sealed, gently shake the jar to help evenly distribute the ingredients and seasonings. Store the jar in a dry, cool place, away from direct sunlight. After about 2 to 3 days, the shallots will begin to absorb the flavors and are ready to enjoy. Pickled shallots are perfect as a side dish or tossed into salads. Their balanced flavor and crisp texture will add a delightful touch to your meals. After opening the jar, it's best to keep it in the refrigerator, where the pickled shallots will stay fresh and tasty for about 2 to 3 weeks. More than just a delicious side, pickled shallots are also considered a natural remedy for boosting the immune system. Thanks to their natural antibiotic properties, shallots may help support and prevent illness, especially useful during the winter or when the weather changes. This is a dish that's not only tasty, but also offers real health benefits, something worth making for your family. Now, I'd like to share a simple but incredibly effective tip to help keep fresh shallots from spoiling, one that can extend their shelf life for up to a year if done correctly. First, choose medium-sized shallots with dry outer skins that are intact. No peeling, scratches, or bruises. Avoid shallots that have started sprouting or have an odd smell, as those are signs they've begun to break down inside. Shallots that store well are usually firm to the touch, not soft or mushy, and have a consistent color. Next, peel off the dry outer skin. Go ahead and peel all the shallots you plan to store. This will save you time in the kitchen later. That way, they're ready to use whenever you need them. After peeling, fill a bowl with clean water and rinse the shallots thoroughly to remove any remaining dirt or debris. Then, place the shallots in a strainer or colander to let them drain completely. You can also lay them out on a dry towel or gently pat them dry with paper towels to speed up the process. It's very important to make sure the shallots are fully dry before storing them. This helps prevent mold and bacteria from forming during storage. Once the shallots are dry, prepare a clean, airtight, food-safe container. A plastic container with a tight-fitting lid will work, but a glass jar with a screw-on lid is even better. Make sure the container is completely clean and dry before use. Place the shallots inside, then seal the lid tightly. Don't overfill or press them down too tightly. Leave a little space inside the container for air to circulate gently. Finally, store the container in the refrigerator. Avoid placing it near the stove or other humid, warm areas in the kitchen. When stored properly, the shallots will stay fresh, won't sprout, and won't spoil for several months, sometimes up to a full year. This is a very practical tip, especially helpful for anyone who buys shallots in bulk or wants to stock up during the rainy season, when moisture makes them more likely to mold or rot. That brings us to the end of today's video. I hope the simple tips I shared will help you save time, money, and reduce food waste in your kitchen. If you found this information helpful, don't forget to click like and follow the channel so you won't miss out on more recipes, kitchen tips, and food storage ideas. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch and support me. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, wishing you delicious meals and meaningful moments shared with your loved ones.